It is never too late to start living your life by design. Hey, welcome to Life by Design. Today we're talking about unlocking the door to fashion entrepreneurship, no matter what stage of life you're in, because it is never too late. There's no such thing as being too old or being too young for that matter to say yes to your dreams. For the vast majority of self-taught designers, that deep desire to create, that spark that lit you up inside was recognized early on. And once you know you have it can't be ignored, right? It doesn't just go away. Many of us watched and learned from people in our family who had the talent and the eye for detail and the passion to make something special out of nothing. I know I first became curious and enthralled. I fell in love with fabric from watching my mom. She would create the most beautiful little dresses for me and my sisters when we were little. And she learned how to sew and design from her mom, my grandma Paulina, and she learned from her mom, and so on. And so maybe you have a familiar backstory, or maybe you were inspired by somebody else altogether. Either way, you know that you got that spark long ago. And perhaps life took some unexpected twists and turns, and you ended up tucking your dreams away and being realistic by working in another field. And before you knew it, you looked up and years flew by, maybe decades have flown by, and you're still wondering, can you pursue your designer dreams? And the short answer is yes, you absolutely can. Building a business alongside your 9 to 5 or your part-time job or other major responsibilities. Hello, I know what that's like. It isn't always easy, but it is doable. If you want it badly enough and you're willing to embrace that learning curve that comes with pursuing a new path in life, and you're open to growing your business at a steady, purposeful pace, you can do this. There's no expiration date on the desires of your heart, so how can there be an age limit? You can say yes to yourself by embracing your own unique designer journey. And the reason this topic came up is because I still get questions from aspiring designers, emerging designers, up and coming designers who ask me, quote unquote, can I start a clothing brand even though I'm older? And the thing is, I look at them and more times than not, I'm thinking, I know I'm older than you. So, hello, yes, you sure can. And even if I was younger, age is relative in so many ways, especially when it comes to building and managing a business. I'm reading a book right now, and the title is Think Like a Breadwinner. And the premise of the book is whether you are the head of household or not, you should always be thinking like a breadwinner because life is unpredictable. Tomorrow is not promised for any one of us, and putting a strategy in place where you can have some say over how you make income in today's world is one of the smartest things a woman can do. I know if you're a mom like I was when I started my first business, the idea of doing something so bold is so foreign that it could stop you in your tracks. When I started, I took a risk on myself, knowing that it was my time. The way my life is set up, I knew that it was time to create something different. And life had thrown me so many curveballs that I was feeling a little bit rebellious, if I'm honest. And I wanted to go against the grain because I realized that if I don't do it, who was coming to build my business for me? Life had already given me lemons. So I decided to use the talent and the tenacity that was instilled inside of me to make some sweet lemonade. And sometimes I wonder how my life would be different if I didn't take that chance on myself. But the fact is, I don't have to wonder because I have no regrets. And I think of the women that came before me, who I came from, who had no choice but to put everything on hold to just live life, right? And my thought is if you have the wherewithal and if you have the passion, if you have the access to the guidance that you need to fulfill your dream and walk in your purpose, then run toward it. Because there are many who wish they could and will never have that chance again. When I think of what happened during those COVID years in New York, It's still unbelievable. Out of the blue, here came this ferocious virus that was killing 10,000 people a day in New York. It was numbing, to say the least. And New Yorkers, I think, after seeing what we saw, the sights, the smells, the everything, um, the things we witnessed, uh, some of us will never be the same. It makes you wonder how many people wish they had the chance to start a business or pursue their passions and will never get that day or that time back. And the best news is, though, that it is still the best time to start. There was an article. Oh, let me find it. All right, here it is. It says from 2019 to 2023, women-owned businesses growth rate outpaced the rate of men's 94.3% for number of firms and 252.8% for employment and 82% for revenue. And during the pandemic, women-owned businesses added 1.4 million jobs and $579.6 billion in revenue to the economy. All right, imagine that. So is it a good time to start? Absolutely. If you have a desire in your heart, I am telling you that the time is now to think seriously about whether you want to put it on the back burner yet again or go after the thing that's been calling you forward. And here's one way you can tell if this is truly your time. Think about this. Does the idea of moving toward your goals make you feel more expansive? Like if you're breathing in fresh air and becoming more of who you are? Or does the idea of leveraging your skills make you feel like you want to shrink back and curl up in a ball? If the idea makes you feel good, explore it, become more curious about it, and put steps in place to move closer to it day by day by day. Mother's Day is this weekend, and I saw the most beautiful segment on Good Morning America. It was their Breakfast in Bed edition where they were honoring a woman named Shelley Carter, I believe. I hope I got her name right. And she is the first Black woman fire chief in all of New England. It doesn't sound like that should be so rare, right? But yes, the first one. She has 4 kids, and they talked about how she would work 24-hour shifts at the firehouse, and she was utterly shocked by the fact that she was being recognized. You could tell that this woman had worked hard all of her life and was dedicated and focused and caring. She was surrounded by friends and family and co-workers, and everybody was just so happy for her. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. They were there to celebrate her. They gave her surprise after surprise after surprise, and then just when you thought there was nothing left to come, Erica and Tina from Mary Mary come out, and they start singing, I just can't give up now. Come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe you brought me this far to leave me. And that's when everybody started to bawl. And no, I can't sing, but hello, I gave it a go just for you. And anyway, Erica talked about the fact that in addition to being a mom and a fire chief, this woman has a future firefighters camp where she's teaching young girls to be strong and brave, which is what it's all about. And I say all that to say, what if she had given up because it was challenging to climb that ladder? She is one of one female Black fire chiefs in the entire New England region of the United States. It's never too late to go after more. So that was a beautiful start to the Mother's Day weekend. I celebrate you in advance for what you will accomplish for yourself and for your loved ones. And there's just one last thing I'll leave you with. I read an article some time ago from, I believe it was a Forbes author, who said, we spend most of our time working in dead-end jobs and numb ourselves in front of screens when we're home. Are we wasting our lives? And then he spoke in the article about a story that his father told him. It was about two friends who went out for a walk to the local graveyard. And during their walk, they passed by dozens and dozens of tombstones. And one of the friends noticed that the numbers on the tombstones didn't seem to add up. And he asked the other friend, "What's going on with these numbers?" He pointed to the tombstone next to him, and from the years on the stone, it looked like the person lived to be 73 years old. But below the dates, it said he lived 8 years. Then he noticed another tombstone, and that person appeared to have lived a good long time as well. But the note below those numbers said that she lived only 5 years. And then the other friend said, "Oh, yes, the note below the dates indicates how many years, the number of years this person really lived his or her life to the fullest." And that hit home. 8 years, 5 years. How can a person live into their 60s or 70s or 80s, 90s, or even 50s, 40s, and have only lived 5 good years? That doesn't make sense, right? The very best way to predict the future, to predict your future, is still to create it. What happens with your business this year or next year and beyond is going to depend wholeheartedly on how often you say yes to yourself instead of putting your dreams on hold yet again to the point of regret. Because age is relative. Start the business, open the bank account, become a student of the industry, build your network, launch your collection, because the biggest regrets are in the graveyard. One way or another, say yes to yourself for a change, because it's your life, not anybody else's. It's your life to live. You have a big, juicy vision for your business, and not everybody around you gets it or even cares, right? But that's okay, because that vision was given to you, not to them. I know at times in the past it has felt like you were on an island by yourself, and you're not alone, but it doesn't have to stay that way. I have opened the doors to our emerging designer community. Go to cmdesignagency.mn.co so you can connect and vibe with like-minded individuals who are also on a mission to grow and scale their fashion brand. I'll see you on the inside. Thank you for tuning in to the Life by Design show. We welcome your feedback, so if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with your friends. And if there's someone you think I should consider bringing in for a combo, send me a DM on social. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the other side.